Willkommen, meine Leute. Welcome to the MMT live stream. Hope all of you are doing good and well. I think in this year I still haven't streamed for YouTube, so to everybody, Happy New Year. Hope you had good holidays, quality time with your family, and I think this year, now after the holidays, it's time to crush the charts. So yeah, it's back to work, meine Leute. Hello, I see beautiful people in the chat. Was geht's denn? Ja, nee, was geht's? Ja, wunderbar. Alles gut, Bruder. I'm actually not German, but I know how to speak. I watched a lot of cartoons back then when I was little on RTL 2, Super RTL, and I learned German from that. So yeah, nice to see some stark, Bruder. Yeah, sehr stark. Welcome, Andrea. Welcome, Lou. Okay, I guess it's time to begin the session. Ooh, Michael is here. Michael, willkommen. Yeah, RTL 2, yeah. Really funny. Dragon Ball was there. Yu-Gi-Oh! I don't know what actually I watched back then, but it was interesting. Happy childhood. Yeah, guys, if you will have any questions during the session, let me know. Of course, I'll be here gladly answering all of your questions or requests. Maybe if we have time, maybe I'll do check out Ethereum or one altcoin if I get some requests. Alarm Cobra, yeah. that also. So yeah, let's begin. So we'll start simple with some price action. Then we'll go deeper into order flow. So what to expect maybe in the next week, upcoming days. What else? Of course, order flow. We'll check out the beta version of the new MMT that will be released soon. You will see new features, which I am really having fun with. New exchanges on MMT, new bucket at CVD, volume, like whatever you want, whatever your wishes are, and the developers are here to make them true. So MMT is progressing really quickly, adding features and so on. So yeah, first things first. So I was looking at kind of this anchored VWAP from the highs. This was actually the mid web was pretty much resistance the whole time. You can see no candle closes above it, just steps. Also the last run into the highs where we grabbed the liquidity. We had, again, resistance at the anchored VWAP. Lower band became support. Now this is really simple. Like, anchored VWAPs are really amazing. To give you a kind of simple view of the price action, where resistance are, where price is ranging. So we are coming back. You could actually say it's kind of like a volume profile. Once a range is formed, you look for if you get acceptance inside the bands. So I use the 1 factor, but you can use 1.6, some use lowers. I use also lower for altcoins. Depends on what works. So you have to check what lines up. Sometimes you kind of make a pull and it doesn't make sense. You don't have any resistance from it. You don't have any support from it. But once you align the factors, so you can go 0.8, you can go 1.5, like depends on where you find that support resistance with the volume. And sometimes really weird numbers do work. But that's, again, playing around and then finding the optimal settings for the VWAP, which high, which low, and so on. So in this case, as we got acceptance into the lower band, yeah, the bigger idea would be coming back inside I mean, coming back to the other side, which is the value area, which is the upper band of the VWAP from this pool. So as you can see, we kind of are turning this into support. I actually would not like to see any candle closes below the mid anchored part. Why? Because probably if we get a nice 4-hourly, or let's say even a daily, if we get a close below, I think we might then start chopping lower and taking out some lower liquidity. But I mean, we are still above it, so I'm kind of still pointing to, let's say, at least the weekly imbalance fill or the 102k region. Of course, 100k is again a psychological level. A lot of people are looking at it, and we'll check out order flow, we'll check out order books. You will see there's a lot of stacked limits. Of course, a lot of people will take profits. A lot of people will take trades, maybe shorts, just because of that level, which I don't understand, because you have nothing to back you up other than the psychological level. Then again, usually you do not just stop at rounded numbers. You chop around those rounded numbers usually, and then get a move maybe up to just stop out everybody that short 100k, and then you make the drop down if that is the gameplay, if the price doesn't shoot higher, of course. But we'll see back again. But just quickly what we can see, yeah, you want to see at least a quick wick below the middle part of the anchor VWAP, or blast off higher 202k. So these are kind of just high time frame levels I'm looking at currently. Of course, liquidity grabs of the low, of these lows, and so on and so on. These are all valid areas. Of course, liquidity of these two equal lows, liquidity of these inner lows that we have, again, liquidity of these lows here, but you can kind of see the pattern here. You are making those higher lows. You're not taking that liquidity, so people are positioning themselves. Large players do not want the price to go lower, do not want market structure to break, especially getting some higher time frame closes below some let's say inner lows. And yeah, this is kind of my bias that we probably go higher. Let me check. How are you enjoying MMT? Lou, fantastic, man. The vibes are okay. The people here are fantastic. The MMT itself, so the software is amazing. So as you know, I had in the past some few tools that I have been using, but this one is like just the amount of support, just the amount of requests they are finishing and then developing, then it's amazing, man. If you are not here, you should at least take a look. So this is my recommendation. When V3, I don't know, guys. I don't know when V3, but the guys are putting the work, but I think we are close. So when they say they're developing something, like let's say V3 is coming out soon, then that means it's coming out soon. It's not coming out in 1 year or half a year, like it's a matter of weeks, maybe even days. So we'll see. When everything is cleared out, when they fix the bugs and so on and so on, when everything is ready for user use, then yeah, it will be used, it will be released. So but yeah, that's kind of it from our encoded VWAP. I'm gonna take another chart so I do not mess up. So yeah, where did the price move? Where we were, yeah, there are a lot of liquidations today. Honestly, a lot of liquidations hunted today. We got some news also today. Yeah. In short, I would actually like to focus maybe on the current price action where we are, and maybe not talk about the past, what happened. So this is the weekly imbalance zone marked. Sadly, for now, we still don't have weekly time frames, but on the beta version, for everybody that's using MMT Pro, is eligible to sign in on the beta link, and you will have customized timeframes. So whatever you want, weekly timeframes, edit, use it, and so on and so on. So really fantastico. Add my timeframes, save 1 week. We don't have any data for this. So these are the new exchanges also were added. So 20 new. You got like, I don't know how many pairs, but I think they're in the thousands that were added. A lot of exchanges like Reckon Spot, futures on OKX, Bitfinex Spot, Bybit Spot. You got also Hyperliquid, XYZ. Yeah, that's kind of crypto stocks where you have Google, you have Microsoft, and so on and so on. And also lighter futures were added. So a bunch of, and the amount of pairs added is insane. So we'll check them out later on, but for now, just give me a second. Okay, let's go on and check out what I want to do. The volume profile. Yeah, so this is basically the weekly imbalance zone. We'll see if we fill it up and then get a retracement. We still have some, I think, highs on some exchanges, inner highs that haven't been taken out. We also did take out the inner polar high that we had. So this is from this daily profile here. You can see this poor high was created here. So that's why we are kind of stopping here. We took out that poor high. Also, if you saw the post on X, I posted also a nice liquidation pool. Maybe I can show it here, and then we will also take a look at liquidations, heat maps, and so on and so on. Let me just see, where did I post it? Here. Oh, no, this. Here we have it. So yeah, we came back into that bigger, higher time frame liquidation cluster. So it's no wonder we are kind of ranging here. Price still deciding what it wants to do. But honestly, looking at the order flow, looking at the footprints, you will see that we are still holding today's point of control. So we are holding that volume. Nothing is really bearish at the moment. Spot wise, I was also mentioning in Discord that we have a bunch of spot positions that are currently backing us up, and we are not dropping lower. So look like some spot absorptions and putting new limits up on order book, on the order book. What that means is I have here the aggregated data. So all the exchanges, spot exchanges are aggregated, and I have the aggregated order book and aggregated footprints for all the spot exchanges. So as you can see here, we made a mini range, kind of fake out. You could say this was a triangle again, looking for that liquidity. You had the triangle here, you faked out, took the liquidity, dropped the price down. And yeah, as you can see below the triangle pattern, you instantly had limits and limits and limits, just stacking and stacking up, creating bullish CVD on spot. And also the inner range here, honestly, again, you had limits here, just all of this, just limit stacking up here. You had a limit that, again, before the before the pump that began now on New York Open, you also had a limit for spot positions. So you can see they're constantly just filling their spot positions. From CVD, this is also aggregated. You can see this low, lower lows. Just look at this low compared to this low here. You can see where on CVD this low was and this low is here. So you can see a lot of absorption is happening on spot. And for me, honestly, spot is king. I don't care what, mostly futures are for me just to look at people to get wrecked, to take some inner liquidity, but spot is honestly almost always the thing you have to watch out for larger moves, especially with such amount of absorption. It kind of easily shows you where the price might go. So yeah, what's happening now? We are getting tons and tons of longs, so this is a little bit scary. You can see a lot of open interest coming in, liquidation, of course, liquidations, shorts are getting liquidated, tons and tons of shorts. I think at this high you had like 100 million shorts being liquidated. This is kind of scary. You can see the liquidation candle, you can see the open interest. Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy how in this time, I don't know, I mean, I get it 10 years ago, but like now with all the learning material, with all the groups that you can learn, but you still get like 10 million of liquidations in one single candle. It's fascinating to me. Like, don't people know what stop loss means? Just the basics. So yeah, we are getting that push up. We are getting some limit absorptions here, filling them up. We got some spot positions also here. Pretty nice, pretty nice. Pretty nice amount of longos, not gonna lie. Pretty nice amount of longs, pretty nice amount of spot. You can see the buying pressure here. Just give me a second. Okay, this is this. Guys, again, if you have any questions, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me know. Above there is a naked daily point of control. Honestly, I'm not putting that much pressure on this because on different tick sizes of volume profile, on most tick sizes, this point of control is already cleared out. But on some ticks, like in my case, this point of control is still naked, so I'm not putting any pressure above that. But we'll see. Let's check out on price what's happening. Do we have some order blocks forming here? Okay, we got a cute little 50-minute order block here that was formed. Let's see if we do have anything else here formed. 6 hourly. Okay, we got a big 6 hourly. Okay, this is something I love. We got a big 6 hourly order block potentially forming here. We still have, what is this, 2.5 hours left until that 6 hourly will be closed. If we get the candle close as it is now, or a little bit lower or higher, I would love to trade this 6 hourly order block, but this still needs to form. This candle can reverse, have a wick down, and the order block will not be formed. So you have to be patient here, or at least, again, those 2-3 hours to let the order block form itself, and then potentially we can trade it. At the lower part, you can also minimize your entry and maybe focus on this 50-minute order block that is already created, and probably we have the volume point of control here. Yeah, of today's profile, you have the volume point of control here. The upper high volume node was already back tested before the bounce happened, but actually that's it from what we had here. Nice anchor the VWAP. Let's check out also where we got this. Okay, weekly is still below, monthly is really below us. Okay, check out the range volume profile. This is a little bit tricky one. I pulled the range earlier like this, but in this case that we are now coming back here, we are impulsing. I honestly would do it like this, keep it as a range. So for me, as I mentioned, you saw that anchored VWAP from before. Let me show you if we got some new people in. We got this anchored VWAP. I honestly don't want any high time frame candle closes below it. The max I would like to see is the wick to come around the 93.12, 93K, where we have the value area high. So I don't want us to go back inside. Usually you don't back test and get a big, like you don't do this and then go back up usually. Usually you get the back test once you're breaking the range. So range a little bit here, and then you get the breakout. So you create those impulse candles where you start to form them, like where you break the range and create in a new price range, you create another range. So yeah, so I honestly would not like to see us close below the anchor VWAP or lose this value very high, which is at almost the same place. So until then, I'm still bullish for that 102K. Well, let me just check the volume here quickly, guys. Let's do this. Let's do this. So yeah, also here, as you can see, we got that volume backing us up for our 102K area. So we got a bunch of volume at 101.8 area, and we got some high volume in that 100.3K region. So honestly, I think this might be a nice resistance area if we come above that high. But honestly, preferred scenario, maybe front running that 100K, like maybe really pushing back. Now, let's say we create that 6-hourly order block. We backtest the 6-hourly order block, go back into our 98K region, potentially getting that retrace into the 93K region. And then potentially, like, everybody would be like, okay, we front run that 100K. A lot of people will, oh, I missed on the big short. I want to go into that short. They will trade market. They will like fill potentially some limits from bigger traders, and they then have that fuel to quickly burst it up to that 102, 103, 4K region where a lot of volume is laying around. A lot of people probably still in their shorts if somebody got in here, in their longs. A lot of people probably in their shorts, maybe didn't take profits, and I can guarantee you a lot of people will come back here putting those limits, stop losses. They want to close positions or get out of the position, and this is a nice region where you can distribute spot, where you can distribute futures, and so on and so on. And from here on, we'll see the reaction. Will we get another range formed as we had here? Potentially range. Again, we had that impulse, potential range creation, and then we'll see, is it a distribution range? Is it an accumulation range? Will they distribute and then just go lower, or will they again additionally accumulate a large amount of shorts piling up? Then they will, of course, most probably impulse it back up and create higher ranges. So that's kind of how I'm trading this. Let me just delete, but this is kind of the plan. If the 6-hourly is formed, I would like this for the upcoming days. Again, trading paper money, guys, remember that. No financial advice, of course. I just want to mention that, again, I am part of MMT Academy. If you didn't know, MMT has also an academy side of itself. In this group, we have sessions usually almost every day. Also, if volatility kicks in during the weekend, some preparations for the upcoming week. With me is, again, the legendary Michael, and educational videos that are coming each week by the legend, mostly by the legend Crawling. But today I did post my order block video, so if somebody is interested in learning order blocks, today I posted my very first education in MMT Academy. So also Michael will be doing time to time, and also me. Part 2 is also coming now. This is part 1 from order block education video. So yeah, if anybody is willing to learn, come and join us. Let's have fun, guys. Okay. Give me just a second. Yeah, and also coaching is live, one-on-one sessions. I think I can find it if it's still on the same page. Oh, let me check it out. Let me check it out, guys. Those are the weekly schedules. But yeah, we have also the one-on-one coaching. So I think there should be somewhere on this page, but honestly, more weekday. I cannot find it now, but if somebody's interested, pin me in Discord. I will gladly forward you the link. Yeah, so let's see what's happening, guys. Let's see. CVD is going crazy up. Also before, yeah, you can see Coinbase is just buying, constantly buying in this region. So this was really nice. A little bit of selling from Binance, but then chilled off a little bit. Honestly, some major CVD on Binance futures there was not. Some on Bybit, so they have something to squeeze, but I think mostly it's just now it's future driven, but mostly what held us in this price range was spot, as I showed you. A lot of limits, a lot of support for the price. But yeah, we got tons of liquidations, guys, and we have tons of longs coming in. Like, look at this volume profile. This is crazy. This is a lot of. If somebody is looking for potential short, I think this is a clean area for potential short. Not gonna lie. Maybe wait for the SFP of this high, but as I mentioned, I'm not touching anything now. I'm just waiting for my levels to hit. If we get some hits, let's say if we take out the 50-minute order block, for now, I will gladly take a trade or look for a potential trade if I get all the confluences with my area. But for now, yeah, still just waiting. But yeah, there is, guys, there is a lot of open interest. I wouldn't be confident. I mean, longing this is no. This is a big no. Like, you are at the highs of this mini range. Oh, you are getting a lot of longs here. Potentially, you're getting some shorts right now, but compared to the amount of longs, the amount of open interest, I would not look for longs here just yet until the open interest is normalized. Yeah. Okay, let's go on. Beta servers. Let's see here what we have. Okay, poor highs are on the weekly time frame. So actually what you would like to see for a potential trade is that SFP. Now, will that SFP come with this plan that I created? Come back around that 90, the middle part of the weekly imbalance. So this is around 97.5 to around, let's say, 98k, 8k-ish. This would be a nice SFP. Maybe not just like I drew it, but just on a smaller time frame. Go back down, make that SFP, clear out those weekly poor highs, and then potentially make that reversal back down to that 93k region. Let me see, do we have any questions? Did you put 94.2 as a bounce point due to the point of control? Yeah, point of control is one of those confluences, but mainly it's an order block, which we are still waiting to be formed. So here you go, price is a little bit dropping. This is the 6-hourly order block. We have the 50-minute order block, and yeah, as you mentioned, there is the daily point of control for now. Now the day is still long. The point of control might easily shift, and then you will get really an easy short. Because if the point of control shifts from here, let's say we get a range here, you shift the point of control back up here, then if you're below the point of control, some order block forms, you're below the order block, you're below the point of control, just wait for that back test, easy invalidation. Even if you lose, you'll have a small invalidation, but it's a good viable trade for me. And this is where I would take a short trade for now. But I still don't see anything big. I'm not rushing into trades, especially near the highs as we are here. Yeah, also on the monthly time frame, you got the monthly TPO, you got 4 highs. You still got the monthly single prints, which is pretty sexy, and this will be filled to around 98k. This is again additional confluence for our trade. I think also some weekly, yeah, you got also weekly imbalances here. Again, this is the amount that those are the single prints. You got also these at around 98k. So also on the daily time frame, as I mentioned, that 98.5 looks decent also on the daily single prints from TPO profile. Guys, if you have any great tutorial video, thank you Slauk Krilovas, thank you man. Excited for the part 2, maybe more, because it's more interesting. Of course, everything you need to learn from scratch is a little bit boring, but once you get the idea, the second part is like you can think about and improving those order blocks, how you trade it, when you trade it, and so on and so on. Oh, Lozjech, Brudach, willkommen. Nice to see familiar faces. Okay, yeah, beta is crazy amazing. Just a quick, like, just what you have. I already mentioned those new exchanges, the new pairs, like tons and tons. For every exchange you have tons and tons of pairs. I think you have to take a month of vacation just to go through every pair. Like, if you want to trade altcoins, the really shittiest coins, you will get them on MMT, all the order flow data, all the order book data, and so on and so on. So really fantastic. Spot. One that I'm eyeing currently is OKX Future, is one I wanted for some time, and they made my wishes come true. OKX Futures is a nice one for trading, for checking out Heatmaps, and they do provide some nice amount of we'll see here, like nice amount, good limits. So you have limits everywhere, not even bigger, not some smaller, but in this case you have kind of solid amount of limit size, and they provide your reaction. Like in this case, they filled out that limit, nice absorption. Spot was also there lining up with the support, and then you went back up, like pretty nice. Also here you can see all the limits stacked up here. Yeah. Second thing is the bucketing. This is really amazing. Trade size filter. You can aggregate also everything you want. So you can aggregate futures, you can inverse, you can spot aggregate, you can decide which amount you want to show by each indicator. You can stack them up like I did. So pretty nice. Also for CVD is the same. So CVD, you can also aggregate. I don't know if you know other tools. I know I have been using some tools for this in the past, where I created some CVD lines with the different trade filters, like the amounts, and it was pretty useful. Now you can see that the smaller people with, smaller meaning people, like the retail people that are just trading, let's say a few Ks, 100K, 2K, 200K, and then you can separate the larger trades, millions. You can see the filters here, so plus 5 million in dollars, and so on and so on. And then you can see like the who is playing which side. So if you are getting aggressive shorting from smaller amounts, and you have absorption from, let's say, bigger players, then of course you already know mostly who will get here wrecked. So this is nice features that they added, and I'm in the middle of creating some templates, and I will be sharing them in the academy. Just give me a second, guys. Ooh, what did I do? What did I do? Yeah. So for everybody that was wondering, for that coaching part, you can go on academy, as I mentioned. And if you like my style of trading, if you like Michael's style, if you want to learn something from Krolik, you just click learn more, and here you will have like everything, our resumes, let's say CVs. What do we do? You have one-on-one, what are our tools that we are using, and at the end you can book your session. You have the calendar there, and if you are free, we can schedule a session. So that's for the guy that asked me about the coaching. Okay, let's see if we do have any questions. Okay, let's go. So we have the test. Let's see how the pressure is doing on the order book. So this is a fantastic indicator created by a member. Really nice for pinpointing the highs, the lows, basically the pressure from the order book, how much it's stacked above or below the price. As you can see here, you had a lot of pressure on the upper side, the price went down. You had a lot of pressure, no pressure above, you had just the pressure support on the lower part, and of course the price went up. Currently we are creating that pressure at the highs. So we'll see about that. It can SFP a few times before the high is created. Same as here. You can see you had the first high, you had the second high, and then you pushed up, and then you slowly started to go down. So this is the idea for the chart that I draw. So again, having that pressure above, but again, having that higher high, where after that you might get the bigger retrace and the nicer, more profitable trade. So this is kind of what I'm waiting for. What do we have here? Stacked imbalances. Yeah, stacked imbalance was cleared. Also the lows, you had also on Bybit, different time frames, different filters. You had the stacked imbalances. On each of them you tapped into them. One you cleared out the buying stacked imbalances. On the other you just tapped inside it, provided instant support. Currently you are at the buying imbalance at the high. So this is pretty nice to see. I haven't checked this out on Binance. I was looking at the upper charts on Bybit, but this is really nice. So you can see here how the stacked imbalance usually give a good reaction on the price. But we have those poor lows, poor highs on the weekly, on the daily. No, on the daily not yet, but on the weekly, on the monthly TPO, we still have those poor highs. So still kind of not hoping, but still kind of looking for that upside a little bit more. We tapped also in an enormous pocket of liquidations, which is really good. Of course, at the lows, you already kind of logically you can determine that we have a lot of liquidity just because of those higher lows. Some major, let's see here, 98k is again that liquidation area above, and the next pocket of liquidations are again, of course, at around that 101.3k, where we got that bigger high time frame point of control of the whole drop down. Where do I have that chart? Where do I have that chart? So this what I have been talking about. So this is the 101.6k region where we got the point of control. There we also have nice liquidations, so pretty nice. Also here you can see a nice cluster of liquidations around that 101k. But yeah, that's kind of it, guys. I think I think that's it from my side. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll still be waiting for a few minutes. But in short, this is kind of the idea. What happens in the meantime on order flow? Yeah, we'll still have to check it out. That is unknown to us and will be revealed through time. So we'll see what trades come in. We'll see. Will the CVD turn bearish? As you can see here, yeah, you got again instant amount of negative delta. Oh yeah. Oh, what? Let's go down to the 1 minute time frame. Ah, okay. So looks like here. Ooh, yeah, this is nice amount of from spot position protecting, like from spot exchanges. Like you can see here, a nice limit, but this looks like it was an iceberg because here you just see 40 amount of limit size, and then you got that 40 absorbed. And icebergs, how iceberg work is you have secret layers of limits. So you kind of show 40, but in the background you may have 200, 300. And then once the 40 has been absorbed, again, the software gives you another 40 and another 40. So on the order book, you just see 40, but here you can see like it was more than 40. It was like 200, 300 worth of Bitcoin. But on the order book, as you can see, this was like 40, 30, 20, 28. So really small amounts. Here again, a limit 150 spot. Again, limits absorbing here like 50, 60 Bitcoin. So this is going up definitely. We have a bigger limit here, but this is again a rounded number around 97, 96, 95, 94. All the rounded number mostly have some bigger amounts of limit. So let's take for instance, I don't know, yeah, here you have like 94, again some larger amounts of limits. Here again you have, oh, this is not, but here you have 92, again some larger amount of limits. But this one is, not gonna lie, a little bit bigger one. This is 350 worth of Bitcoin. This is quite a nice amount of spot position, and we would, or actually we did already SFP this. So this is a nice amount of spot being distributed. Not gonna lie, we'll see what happens here, but it might get interesting quite soon. And I like that. Refresh the size. Will it go back? Nope. Yeah, so we'll see. This limit will probably, or is already absorbed. You can see the amount of delta, pretty nice. So all the 300 did get absorbed, not. So really nice, really nice. Let's see now if you get any reaction for a potential drop, or at least a retrace back down to that 50-minute, but slowly. Let's create that 6-hourly order block, and we'll see after that. Yeah, guys, that's it from my side. If you have any questions, I'll wait here for a few seconds. I'll wait for a few seconds. And looks like I do not have any questions. Looks like I have been totally clear. Looks like you people understand my language, trading language. Oh, we are getting also some limits. You can see here 50, 60, 60. So they are trying to defend. Honestly, I'm gonna take a small short here. Small invalidation. Honestly, nothing big. A little bit above the high, and that will be it from my session, guys. This is it, and thank you for joining. Let's see how this goes. A lot of protecting here, a lot of spot absorbed, those 300. a lot of open interest, also positive delta. So we'll see. We have, I mean, the ingredients are here. We'll see if they close their limits here. I'll probably close my short, but until they're still there, I've taken the short. So let's see. So yeah, we had also a nice trade here. We'll see how it unfolds. Check out Twitter if I start posting some money shots. Hopefully, let's see. Guys, thank you for listening to me, and hope to see you again in next week, in next 2 weeks, I hope. Have a nice week of trading, guys, and have fun. Much love and safe trading, guys. Bye bye.